If you want to be healthier, yet you just don't know what to do, all these shows telling you this and that, but nothing seems to work. Well, listen close. Golden State Media Concepts has got something great for you. The Health and Wellness Podcast dedicated to workout trends, healthy eating habits, diet, and everything about healthy living. Join us in our banters as we help you not just live life to the fullest, but live it to the healthiest.
Welcome to GSMC Health and Wellness Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I'm your host, Cynthia. Happy, what day is it? Tuesday, everybody. Doesn't it seem like a Sunday every single day? How are we holding up during this quarantine time? Are we doing better than last week? Hopefully, yes. I know I'm doing a lot better. If you had a chance to tune in to my last week's episode, it was all about how to deal with anxiety and coping with stress during this, very uneasy time that we're all facing. And, I shared with you guys all of my struggles and how I've been doing and dealing with this new normal that we're now all living in. But I'm doing a lot better now. I'm doing a lot better this week. I feel refreshed. A lot of family time. Saturday, my siblings and my parents and I, we were outside in our backyard and we were playing Uno and drinking margaritas. Yes, that was my cheat meal as well. I had margarita and I think pizza, and that was Saturday. So that was my way of kind of, letting loose with my family and as if I were going to go out, but we just went out to the backyard and we're drinking. So, that was very much needed. So, be creative, find ways during this time to still have fun. Just because we are stuck inside the house does not mean that we have to be bored all the time. Let's make use of our time, be productive. So with all that being said, I hope you guys are all just, feeling a lot better this week, feeling stronger, feeling motivated. Something else I've actually been doing over this past week that has really helped me with my anxiety and stress and worries and all of that is I've been joining a lot of live workouts and Zoom workouts. Zoom is this app a lot of people are using where they send out a link and, you click on the link and there's the workout similar to like an Instagram live. I know many of you Instagram users know what I'm talking about. So that has also kept me motivated during this time because, when you're in a group atmosphere and you see everyone kind of working out together, that pushes you to, keep going. So that has kept some motivation for me. And then as well as helping me, relieve some stress. And something else I did yesterday is I did my first ever sound bath, which I will be talking about in next week's episode because I want to dedicate an entire episode to just sound baths and the amazing, amazing mental health and spiritual benefits of, listening to a sound bath. Let me know in the comments if any of you have ever done one. If you are a huge fan of Jhené Aiko, she is this R&B amazing, amazing artist. She's one of my favorite singers. Many of her songs actually incorporate the sounds of sound bath. So again, if you listen to Jhené Aiko, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's that very calm sound in the background. So again, I'll dedicate an entire episode to sound baths next week and how great that is to just, keep calm, helps you stay relaxed. And let's get into what I'm actually here to talk about. As you can tell by the title of today's episode, improve your gut health. It'll help you boost your immunity. So today I'm going to dedicate this entire episode on how can we boost our immune system during this time. But I'm going to really emphasize the importance of supporting and improving your gut health, because your gut health is absolutely everything, you guys. Like, your gut health controls everything, all other aspects in your body. And why is it super important to boost your immune system right now? I mean, with all the crazy things that are going on right now, the coronavirus, a lot of health experts are suggesting, to take the extra steps to help improve our immune system right now. When it comes to fighting viruses, everyday precautions such as washing your hands often and avoiding sick people are key. But like I just said, experts are highly suggesting that boosting your immune system will also give us an edge in staying healthy. And, if we do come in contact with the virus, we're more likely to fight it off because of how strong our immune system is. So that is in a nutshell what I'll be talking about today. I'm going to be sharing with you guys a few smart steps that I think we should all be doing in our to-do list right now, in our health and wellness to-do list. So let's get into it. Let's talk about gut health. I mean, it's hardly news that the gastrointestinal tract is important to human health. Your gut health and your gastrointestinal tract, it transports food from the mouth to the stomach, converts it into absorbable nutrients and stored energy, and shuttles waste back out of the body. And if you don't properly nourish yourself and your body, you don't live. It's simple as that. And I mean, like I just said, that's why your gut health is just so imperative, and it's so imperative to take care of our gut health, because if we have a terrible gut health, it's gonna just damage every other aspect in our body. And just so you guys know, did you guys know that 80% of your immune system is in your gut? 80%, you guys. That is such a high number. So when your gut health is healthy, we tend to be able to fight off infections faster and better, as opposed to when it's not. You feel me? So when your immune system is not incredibly healthy, it's weaker and more susceptible to fighting off infections. So again, I'm going to be sharing with you guys how exactly we can improve our gut health and how that will also boost your immunity to the virus. So in these recent years, scientists have discovered that the gastrointestinal tract, I think I'm going to call it the GI system, okay, instead of like the gastrointestinal tract, because I feel like I'm going to get tongue-tied and I'm going to mispronounce it. So when I say GI system, just know I'm talking about the gastrointestinal tract, okay? So don't be confused. So in these recent years, scientists have discovered that the GI system has an even bigger, more complex job than previously mentioned. You know how I talked about how our GI system consists of transporting food from our mouth, goes down to our stomach, converts into absorbable nutrients, and then stored and shuttles around in our body, and then waste back out of the body. So it's more complex than that. Our GI system has been linked to numerous aspects of health that have seemingly nothing to do with digestion. So our GI system covers from immunity to emotional stress to chronic illnesses, even including cancer and type 2 diabetes. So as you can see, gut health is just everything. I will keep reiterating that throughout this episode because that's just how important gut health is. And I feel like me being part of the fitness industry, and just healthcare professionals as a whole, there's just my opinion, okay? My opinion solely. I think we've done a poor job in reiterating to our clients and patients how important it is to take care of our gut health, especially, dietitians, nutritionists. Don't get offended by me saying this, you guys. Like I said, I'm including myself in this world because I am part of the health and fitness wellness industry. We need to do better in terms of communicating with clients and patients how important our gut health is, because like I just said, it is 80% of our immune system is in our gut. And I feel like we do a very poor job in explaining and reiterating the importance of how just important it is to take care of our gut. We talk about diet and, eat less carbs to do that, and, do intermittent fasting to lose weight, and yada, yada, yada. We talk about all these different fads and diets and all those different things, but we never, again, they're just talking from my personal experience. I think we need to do a better job in just really emphasizing the importance of improving and supporting our gut health. And you guys, I'm going to cut into our first quick break right now. When we come back, more on gut health.
Are you looking to learn more about the latest trends from the fitness world? Are you confused by all of the different trends that are out there? The GSMC Fitness Podcast is the place for you. The GSMC Fitness Podcast is the place to come for people of all skill and interest levels. Join us as we explore the latest trends in the fitness world. Does that new exercise really work? Should I try yoga? Whatever your question, chances are good you'll find an answer on the GSMC Fitness Podcast.
Hey guys, and welcome back to GSMC Health and Wellness Podcast. So right before the break, I started to share with you guys a little bit about gut health and how it is correlated with improving your immune system. So I'm still going to be talking about exactly what makes up our GI tract, and then I'll move on to good bacteria versus bad bacteria in our gut health. So we know that the GI tract, again, the gastrointestinal tract, is full of trillions of bacteria that not only help us process food, but that also help our bodies maintain homeostasis and overall well-being. So homeostasis is essentially balance within our internal environment being the inside of our body, our organs, okay? And experts say that the GI tract lies in the microbiome, which is the makeup of bacteria and other microorganisms in the stomach and intestines, or informally, we call it the gut. So basically, the gut microbiome, I'm going to be using those words interchangeably. So do not get confused, but we are not going to call our gut the microbiome. We call it the gut informally. Studies have also shown, or have already found, that many things can influence our gut health for better or for worse. For instance, certain environments we're exposed to, chemicals we're exposed to, even things as cleaning supplies, foods, behaviors. All of those things affect our gut health, again, positively or negatively. And how exactly can we improve our gut health? So I already kind of gave you guys the rundown, how important it is to take care of it. It's 80% of our immune system. So if our immune system is down, is most likely, or 80% of our immune system's in our gut, sorry. So how exactly can we improve our gut health? And I know you guys have probably heard this from every single person, every doctor, every just single healthcare professional you've probably come into contact with. Diet, okay? Diet is the single most important thing to help improve your gut health, which in turn will help boost your immunity to the coronavirus, okay? Which means, what do I mean by diet, okay? This means a diet rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, healthy fats, healthy fats that are found in foods such as fish, nuts, olive oil. And this doctor, Yufeng Lin, MD of the Center for Integrative Medicine at the Cleveland Clinic, says that this eating pattern of, high eating pattern of like fruits, vegetables, whole grains, all the shebang, you feel me? That eating pattern is high in nutrients such as vitamin C, zinc, and other antioxidants shown to help reduce inflammation and fight infection. Oftentimes, I see people take zinc supplements or vitamin C, you know, the little emergency packets. I mean, those do help, but if you're able to supplement those with food, that would be a better choice than with a supplement. And according to a 2018 study published in the journal Frontiers in Physiology, adults between the ages of 65 and 79 who followed a Mediterranean type of diet, which is pretty similar to what I just mentioned, a diet that's rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, etc., that these individuals, along with taking a daily 400 IU vitamin D supplement for a year, showed small increases in disease-fighting cells such as T cells. And again, this study was implemented on adults between the ages of 65 and 79. And I just thought that was really important to share for today's episode since, again, the most vulnerable individuals right now with the coronavirus are seniors, you know, so I just want to make sure that we take extra precaution for them and just want to share this information and not saying like go buy or you need to supplement yourself with 400 IU vitamin D supplements for a year, but, you know, just really emphasizing for if you live with like an elder, really emphasizing to them that in order to improve their immune system, they have to improve their gut health. And by improving their gut health, you know, is eating a nutrient dense diet, eating lots of fruits, healthy fats, all of those things. So again, maybe I have no seniors listening to me. I don't know. Maybe you know. But if you live with someone who's 65 or older, pass this information along with them. You know, really emphasize how your diet will greatly improve your immune system. That's like the absolute best way. And of course, throughout the episode, I'll be sharing other alternatives, other ways to boost your immune system and your gut health. And still on the topic of diet, because, you know, I can be here all day talking about diet. It's also important to limit meat. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not PETA here. I'm not telling you need to be on a plant-based diet. You need to do this. You need to cut out meat, you know. Everybody's socioeconomic stance is different. I know some individuals like cannot be plant-based because of money, you know, and I understand. I'm just telling you this is evidence or science-based evidence here that I'm sharing with you guys. This is what Dr. Yufeng Lin, MD of the Center for Integrative Medicine at the Cleveland Clinic, has stated, in her opinion, how we can, you know, boost our immunity. So she also says that it's important to limit meat, especially processed and fried foods, all of which are more inflammatory. And she continues to add, generally, she recommends a whole food diet, Mediterranean style diet. What's more, it's smart to include fermented foods such as yogurt, sauerkraut, miso, and kefir in your daily diet. And I've been reading that a lot, actually, about fermented foods, all the health benefits. So fermented foods, these help build up the good bacteria in your gut, which in turn supports a healthy gut and immune system. So I've been reading a lot about fermented foods, the health benefits. And again, I might dedicate another episode to talking about fermented foods because I feel like this is relatively new and, you know, why fermented foods are stated as being essential in building up good bacteria in your gut. So I want to now dive into a slightly different direction, but still kind of the same. Good gut bacteria. Like, what exactly does this mean? How does good gut bacteria differ from bad, you know, gut bacteria? Or just bacteria in general? I feel like there's a kind of negative stigma when it comes to when we talk about bacteria, right? Because we think of like a germaphobe, like, no, I don't want to play in dirt. No, I don't want to, you know, touch this. Someone else. I mean, right now it's different. You know, we're living in a different climate right now, so I know germaphobes are like taking the extra precautions right now, as we all should, but I'm just saying prior to this whole pandemic that we're going through right now, it's good to also have bad bacteria. It's not good to 100% be clean. And that's what I want to kind of dive into now. So trillions of bacteria live in our digestive tract, and they play an important role in our health. Of the thousands of species of gut microbes that live in our gut, some are healthy for your body while others are not. A healthful plant-based diet can improve the health and diversity of our gut microbes, preventing and treating conditions like obesity, diabetes, heart disease, and inflammation associated with autoimmune diseases. Again, just really quick disclaimer here, you guys. I myself am not plant-based. I used to be about like 3-4 years ago, but I totally messed up because I was just eating French fries and Oreos. So my plant-based journey did not go so well for me. But I'm not here to tell you like you have to be plant-based to support your gut health and to have good gut bacteria. I'm just saying what the health experts are saying. All right. So I am just relaying the message. Do not shoot the messenger. Again, this is all science-backed, evidence-based facts. Okay. I only speak facts on this podcast. So they do recommend, a lot of health experts are recommending, plant-based diets are the most effective way to improve our gut health. Again, as I just mentioned, meats and especially processed and fried foods tend to be inflammatory foods, which again, all of that is not good for our immune system nor our gut health. And I'm going to go into another quick break. When we come back, I will be sharing how we can exactly improve our gut health and increase the good gut bacteria.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. Hey! The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. Whatever it may be. Visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
Hey guys, and welcome back to GSMC Health and Wellness Podcast. And let's get straight into the different ways you can increase good bacteria in your gut. The majority of these ways that I'll be listing on how exactly to do that is going to be from your diet. But the very last thing that I'll mention here, not necessarily with your diet, but still imperative to your overall well-being and immune system and gut health. So, first one, how to increase good bacteria in your gut. Fill up on fiber. Ladies and gentlemen, did you guys know that the majority of Americans do not consume enough fiber in their diet? Most individuals are worried that they're not consuming enough protein rather than being worried about not consuming enough fiber. And let me break it to you guys. The majority of people actually, you never hear of someone being having a protein deficiency, okay? No one needs to take protein pills or nothing like that because we already consume the adequate amount of protein in our diet. And that's through vegetables, fruits, grains, not always meat. So fiber should be our main focus when it comes to increasing good bacteria in your gut. High fiber foods, you guys, they feed the healthy bacteria that improve immune function. They reduce inflammation and chronic disease and even help regulate mood. But be careful, because a sudden switch to high fiber foods can cause discomfort, bloating. So introduce them gradually into your diet and then keep track of how your body reacts to anything new. And I've actually have found myself in this situation where, I'll eat this like super high fiber bar and I'll start getting like all these crazy stomach pains and I feel a lot of like discomfort and bloating. And I tend to bloat like very easily. Even like sometimes oatmeal makes me bloat. So just be very aware of foods that make you feel uncomfortable. That should be a sign of, maybe I should stick away from those foods. Like oatmeal, for instance, I know oatmeal makes me bloat and I stay away from that. That doesn't mean that oatmeal is bad or air quote unhealthy. Oatmeal has a lot of great nutritional value, but just for me and my body, it doesn't really sit well with me. So again, when it comes to fueling up on fiber and including high fiber foods in your diet, just be careful in that sudden switch, just gradually ease the fiber into your diet. Next way to increase good bacteria in your gut is by picking prebiotic rich foods. Now, what this is, prebiotics feed healthy bacteria. And good sources of prebiotics include Jerusalem artichokes, chicory root, raw dandelion greens, leeks, onions, garlic, asparagus, whole wheat, spinach, beans, bananas, oats, greens, beans, potatoes. Okay, that's only going to be funny if you know the video I'm talking about on social media. Anyways, I make myself crack up here by myself. Anyway, so those are all prebiotic rich foods that I just mentioned. They all sound like very healthy, right? Like raw dandelion greens. Like that sounds like you're out in the meadow, like chewing on grass or something. I don't know. That's what I think. But needless to say, prebiotic rich foods, amazing for increasing good bacteria in your gut. Next thing is probiotic foods. Probiotics are live bacteria or yeast found in fermented foods that, when consumed, take up residence in the gut and improve health. So some of these probiotic healthy sources include, as I previously mentioned, sauerkraut, miso, tempeh, kimchi, and water kefir. Can someone teach me how to properly and effectively cook tempeh and season it? Because again, when I was plant-based like 3-4 years ago, I bought tempeh because that was, it's high in protein and there's a lot of amazing health benefits to tempeh. But I feel like every time I cooked it, like I didn't cook it well enough. I don't know. I just never liked the taste of tempeh, but I think it's because I just back then my cooking skills were not up to par how they are now. So I've improved, okay, in the kitchen. However, I need somebody to drop a comment in this, leave a comment. Tell me how you cook tempeh if you do eat tempeh. Like, how do you cook it? Do you bake it? Is it, in a saucepan? What do you do? What do you do and what do you season tempeh? Because I'm trying to get all those rich probiotic foods in me right now. I'm trying to have the healthiest gut ever right now. So please let me know in the comments. Help your girl out, okay? Moving on. Next little thing here on how to increase good bacteria in your gut is limiting fats. This doesn't mean limiting healthy fats like olive oil, avocado, etc. When I'm talking about fats, I'm talking about like fried foods, right? So avoid fried foods, saute with cooking spray or broth instead of oil. And use like low fat salad dressings, especially if you have diabetes or are pre-diabetic. Most plant foods are naturally low in fat, so we're good in that department. But yeah, when I mean limit fats, I'm not talking about cutting out avocados because I am obsessed with avocados, and that will never happen. Like, I eat a whole avocado a day, maybe a avocado and a half. It's kind of ridiculous, but avocado is a necessity in my life, in my household. And if I don't have it, I freak out and I risk my life and go to the grocery store, because we're all risking our lives every time we go to the store during this pandemic. You feel me? So yeah, limit fats, donuts, fried foods, Oreos, things of that nature. You feel me? So those are some of the ways you can increase the good bacteria in your gut through diet, right? So I mentioned filling up on fiber, pick prebiotic rich foods, try probiotic foods, limiting fats. So there's a final way here I'm going to mention on how to exactly to also, or another way to increase good bacteria in your gut. Some of you may agree with me. Some of you may disagree with me. That's okay. I'm up for discussion. Avoid unnecessary antibiotics. Okay? I know many people are on antibiotics for different reasons, different health concerns. Me personally, I try to avoid them at all costs. I am very much into holistic health, natural medicine, natural healing. So I will avoid antibiotics at all costs. And as I just mentioned, although it is often necessary to take antibiotics to combat bacterial infections, overuse is a significant public health concern that can lead to antibiotic resistance. So taking too many antibiotics, eventually your immune system will just acclimate, and then we won't be able to fight it because it's used to it. So that's what I mean by antibiotic resistance. And antibiotics are also damaging to the gut microbiota and immunity, with some research reporting that even 6 months after their use, the gut still lacks several species of beneficial bacteria. Again, you guys, that reporting, that research, that's for individuals who overuse antibiotics. You know, you take antibiotics for everything. And this is something really interesting I wanted to share with you guys. So according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, aka the CDC, doctors in the United States prescribe around 30% of antibiotics unnecessarily. You guys, again, doctors in the United States prescribe around 30% of antibiotics unnecessarily. So before you take your, before you, you should listen to your doctor, but before, you decide to be on antibiotics, I recommend, and the CDC recommends, that people should discuss antibiotics and other alternative options with their doctor before use. There are other solutions to combat whatever bacterial infection you have other than antibiotics. But you guys, this is from the CDC. So the CDC, they only speak facts, okay? I've been checking their website regularly, especially now with the coronavirus pandemic, but 30% of antibiotics are unnecessarily prescribed. So always question your doctor. That's what again, this is, some of you who are listening may not agree with me, may be like, you don't know what you're talking about. This is just how I go about things. Again, I'm very into holistic health, natural medicine, holistic healing. So I will avoid them at all costs. There is only one instance in which I absolutely had to be on antibiotics, but it was for it wasn't for that long, like 3 days. And I did not want to be on antibiotics, but that was my only option at the time. So again, just really question your healthcare provider. Ask, is there any other way? Because avoiding unnecessary antibiotics will also help increase your good gut. I can't talk. Will increase your good bacteria in your gut and overall just improve your gut health and boost your immunity. And I'm going to cut into another very brief break. When we come back, I'll be discussing how can you tell if you're having health problems in your gut.
The GSMC Life and Happiness podcast takes you on a journey of exploration. We'll discuss tried and true methods alongside the latest trends of how to best live your life to its fullest and happiest. From psychology to meditation, science to self-help books, the GSMC Life and Happiness podcast will help you to discover what makes you happy and how you can live life being the best you possible. Download the GSMC Life and Happiness podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, or anywhere you find podcasts. Just type GSMC in the search bar.
Hello and welcome back to GSMC Health and Wellness Podcast. So we've covered a lot already so far, but I'm still not done. So we just talked about good gut bacteria. Why do we need it? Why is it important? And just overall focusing on improving our gut health to boost our immunity to the virus and to just any other virus. And it's just good to have a very strong immune system because, again, when you get sick, you're more likely and more effectively to fight off whatever infection you have with a stronger immune system. So now I'll be talking about how can you tell if you're having health problems in your gut. So I will say before I start really diving in here, this is still like the study of the gastrointestinal tract and exactly how can we pinpoint what problems and health concerns we have related to our gut health are still ongoing, and the studies are still relatively new because it's kind of hard. This is all what doctors are saying. Like, we can tell a little bit if we have some underlying conditions regarding our gut health, but we won't be able to tell half the time. So I have listed here some of the like visible physical signs and symptoms of maybe temporarily poor gut health. So when the microbiome is thrown out of balance for any reason, it's often easy to tell. You know, we experience bloating, gas, diarrhea, stomach pain, or even nausea. And these are all pretty direct signs that something in the gut isn't working as it should. And oftentimes these imbalances fix themselves after a short time, but if they become chronic over a prolonged period of time, they may require medical diagnosis and treatment. So some of the ways we can possibly throw our microbiome out of balance is by mixing a lot of foods all at once. So if you're drinking wine with pizza and chips and eating all of these very fatty foods all at once, that will definitely not only just like hurt your stomach, but it definitely just will like temporarily mess up your gut health. Like I said, oftentimes these imbalances are able to fix themselves after a short time. But if you're eating in that manner every single day, then it will definitely become a chronic issue. Doctors are discovering irregularities in gut bacteria that don't cause immediate symptoms, at least not gastrointestinal ones. So they are also suggesting that you can have bacteria in your gut that aren't overproducing gas or altering your motility or anything you notice like that, but for example, are associated with an increased risk of colon cancer. So like I said, not all of the symptoms are immediate. Sounds a little too familiar right now, right? So oftentimes you could have gut issues, but you won't experience the bloating or gas or diarrhea or stomach pain or nausea or whatever. So sometimes it's just like you're asymptomatic. So, and that's not to say that, if you have gut issues and you're not, experiencing any of the visible signs or symptoms, you're at the risk of getting colon cancer. Like, it's associated, but again, this is all very new. Doctors are still discovering this realm. So do not fear, do not freak out as I'm mentioning all of this to you guys. So those are like the two main ways or the main ways, again, of how you could tell if you're having health problems in your gut: bloating, gas, stomach pain, all of that stuff. So with all of that being said, I spent the majority of today's episode talking about gut health. What is it? Why is it important? Like I said, 80% of our immune system is in our gut health. And to fight the coronavirus, we need to boost our immunity, boost our immune health. And we do that by improving our gut health. So all in all, I hope you guys are just able to understand the importance of all this, of maintaining a healthy gut, how it contributes to better overall health and immune function. By making appropriate lifestyle and definitely dietary changes, people can alter the diversity and the number of microbes in their gut for the better. And positive changes a person can make include taking, like I said, probiotics, following a fiber-rich vegetarian diet, and avoiding the unnecessary use of antibiotics and disinfectants. Because I briefly mentioned this, but even like cleaning supplies can influence, for better or for worse, our internal environment. Or just like makeup products, like anything your skin comes to contact with, lotion, all of that stuff, all of our external environment will either benefit or hinder our internal environment, our internal health. So just always keep that in mind. Other simple lifestyle changes a person can make include getting enough sleep and exercise regularly, of course. However, a person should always talk to the doctor before making any drastic changes to their diet. And this is because for some reason, such as those with irritable bowel syndrome, which is basically like an issue with their gastrointestinal tract, or other medical conditions, probiotics and fiber-rich or vegetarian diets may not be helpful. And again, I'm not saying you need to be vegetarian or need to be plant-based. I'm not here to dictate how you should and shouldn't eat. I'm just simply sharing information with you that doctors are and other health experts are saying and highly suggesting when it comes to your gut health and how to improve it. Okay? So no one come at me at the comments. No one say, you can't tell me, I shouldn't eat meat. You shouldn't tell me. Like, I'm not saying that. I'm literally just relaying the message. Okay? Just a disclaimer out there. So again, boosting your immune system. You got to improve your gut health. Now, I will finally be sharing with you guys other steps, other ways to improve your immune system. So I already talked about this, obviously, eating your fruits and veggies, staying hydrated. You always need to be stay hydrated for, overall well-being. Eating probiotic-rich foods. Now, this one will be interesting, and I think some of you may already know this, some of you may not, but including garlic, ginger, and turmeric in your diet may also help improve your immune system. And I'm so glad they say garlic, because garlic adds like that perfect little zing to our food. It's a must-have for our seasoning and health, if you ask me. Like, I put garlic on everything. I put garlic on my baked salmon, soups, you name it. It's in there. It's in the ingredient list. According to the National Center for Complementary and Integrative Health, garlic may also help lower blood pressure and slow down hardening of the arteries. So garlic's immune boosting properties seem to come from a heavy concentration of sulfur containing compounds such as allicin. So garlic, if you're not already doing it, what are you doing? Put some garlic in your food. I think I add garlic to like literally everything, like minced garlic. I'll add garlic powder, not garlic salt, because I like to monitor how much salt I put in my food. And I usually typically use like pink Himalayan salt. So again, I'm just very crazy about my seasoning. Okay. I like to know exactly what's in my food, how much is in what of everything. So, and also I think I'm just very sensitive to salt. Like, when I cook versus my mom, I feel like, and this is not to bash my mom. So mom, if you're listening, I'm not bashing you. I'm just saying sometimes I feel like she may have a little bit of a heavy hand when it comes to the salt, because I'll eat something and I'm like, oh my God, that's really salty, and like that's not to say I don't season my food. Don't get it twisted. I season my food, and it's very delicious and yummy. And everyone who I've cooked for has said that. So, all right. And so, enough about garlic. Let's talk about ginger, okay? To be honest, I don't include too much ginger into my diet, but I think I should because I have read time and time again how all the amazing health benefits of ginger. Ginger is another great, amazing ingredient that many turn to after getting sick. We often hear, like, when you have a sore throat, drink ginger tea with lemon. Right now, I'm seeing this rising trend with fitness influencers and bloggers, and even my sister actually, of drinking celery juice with ginger first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. Again, due to its like anti-inflammatory properties and all of this other like amazing benefits I've been reading regarding celery juice with ginger. And to be honest, I think I need to hop on this trend because, like I said, there are many great health benefits, such as that ginger may help decrease inflammation, which can help reduce a sore throat and other inflammatory illnesses. So I need to start drinking my celery juice, but I also am very I don't like the bitter taste. I've been hearing that celery juice is very hard to swallow because it's very bitter. So again, if any of you guys can drop some ways in how to make your ginger or your celery juice with ginger taste a little more sweet, please leave your recipes down in the comments below. But yeah, ginger is also great and is also known for helping decrease nausea, which I get that a lot randomly for some reason. And while ginger is used in many sweet desserts, ginger packs some heat in the form of gingeroid, which is a relative of capsaicin. I hope I said that right. And ginger may also help decrease chronic pain and possess cholesterol-lowering properties, according to recent research. So again, you could do your research. There's so many articles regarding ginger and their amazing health benefits. So again, I need to hop on drinking celery juice on an empty stomach every morning. My sister says that it has made her skin super clear, which I need that. So I'll let you guys know how that goes. And again, drop your celery juice, ginger recipes down below if you are already on this trend. And if I'm behind, probably. So I'm going to come to another very brief break. When we come back, more on how to improve your immune system.
Are you tired of the same old news? Are you sick of the seemingly endless political spin and negativity? The GSMC America Still Beautiful podcast is a weekly news podcast covering all the top positive and uplifting news stories. We cover stories that will inspire, uplift, and remind you of the good in the world. Tune into the Golden State Media Concepts America Still Beautiful podcast to get all the great and positive news stories of today. Download the GSMC America Still Beautiful podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, or anywhere you find podcasts. Just type GSMC in the search bar.
Hello and welcome back to GSMC Health and Wellness Podcast. So before the break, I mentioned to you guys how including garlic, ginger, and turmeric are some of the very easy steps we can take to improve and strengthen our immune system. So let's talk a little bit about turmeric. Again, I am not super familiar with using the spice. I think the only times I've tried turmeric were in an Indian restaurant or whenever I ate Indian food because, as some of you may know, turmeric is a key ingredient in many curries. And this bright yellow bitter spice has also been used for years as an anti-inflammatory in treating both osteoarthritis and rheumatoid arthritis. When I used to work at the slow motion strength training facility in the Bay Area, when I did personal training there, a lot of my clients had some type of rheumatoid arthritis, and many of them included turmeric in their diets to help with the inflammation. And also, I've seen a lot of face masks that include turmeric. Again, people with like skin conditions or like acne, turmeric also helps with the inflammation. So I need to try that as well. Also, research shows that high concentrations of curcumin, which gives turmeric its distinctive like bright color, can help decrease exercise-induced muscle damage. So all of those are amazing, great ways to, again, improve your gut health, and has other amazing properties as well. And here we go. Another way of improving our gut health and boosting our immunity is practicing stress management, especially during this time. I know we're very stressed. I mean, a lot of us aren't working. We're not working out. Our motivation is low. I feel you. I'm still in that weird spot. Like, I'm still trying to figure it out as well for myself. So practicing stress management, such as meditating, listening to a sound bath, which again, I just did on Sunday. And I think I'm going to do that every single night because it just like calmed me so much. And again, stay tuned for next week's episode because I will be talking about sound baths. Journaling is another way to practice stress management. So there's a lot of different ways to just help relieve stress. Of course, another one is staying active. Working out is a powerful, powerful way to boost your immune system. Okay, you guys, it causes your body's antibodies and white blood cells to circulate more rapidly, which means they may be able to detect and zero in on bugs more quickly. So being active this way also lowers stress hormones, which reduces your chances of getting sick. So like I said, working out, I've lost a little bit of my motivation in working out, but I've been doing those Zoom, Instagram live classes to kind of pick it back up because I know like working out is just, like I just said, it's powerful and it's one of the best ways to boost your immune system. Research also suggests that exercise effects may be directly relevant to virus fighting too. According to a recent study published in the British Journal of Sports Medicine, of 1,002 people surveyed, those who exercise at least 5 days a week had almost half the risk of coming down with a cold as those who are more sedentary, meaning not as active. And if they did get one, they reported less severe symptoms. There also may be a protective benefit from the sweat in your sweat session, which I'm lucky because I sweat like a pig. I'm drenched all the time. I don't understand people who work out and don't sweat. Like, I just look at them like, what is wrong with you? I'm sure like most of you have come across people like that, or maybe you're that person who like does a super high intensity workout and like you barely like a little bit of cute sweat on the back of your neck. I'm literally drenched. It's kind of disgusting. That's why I do not wear gray to the gym, okay? Or in this case, to my home workouts, I can wear gray because it doesn't matter. I'm home alone. So they're also, like I said, so the sweat has this like protective benefit. Research has shown that simply raising your body temperature may also help kill germs in their tracks. So stay active, keep your body moving. And if it's just like, very low intensity, low impact exercise. And the key to exercise, you guys, it is to do it in moderation. I know it's not doable for everybody to work 5 days a week. Again, that was just a research study of 1,002 people who surveyed who did do 5 days a week, but you don't have to. Like many other things, there's always a sweet spot. If you do too much of anything, it's not good. So doing too much exercise can also put a lot of stress on your body and on your joints. And in turn, it can actually depress your immune system doing too much exercise. So it's not recommended, or it's recommended, to do anywhere from 30 to 60 minutes of exercise, whether it's a vigorous high intensity workout or it's moderate most days of the week. Again, it's up to you. Listen to your body. Get adequate sleep, of course. Amazing. Wash your hands frequently. Okay, especially during this time. So those are some of the other ways I wanted to mention on steps to improve your immune system. So again, I'll quickly go over them, including garlic, ginger, and turmeric into your diet, practicing stress management skills such as meditating, journaling, staying active, working out, getting adequate amount of sleep, washing your hands frequently. All of those things will help you to boost your immunity and help fight the virus. Now, I am finally going to share with you guys supplements and high probiotic foods that I personally take and have started taking to improve my immune system and overall gut health. So I have 4 items here that I'm going to be talking about briefly. All of these 4 are included in my diet. I have been using them regularly for the last couple of weeks. The very first one I'll be talking about, I've actually been using for like the last few months. So I'm going to start off with this high probiotic food, and it's called Purely Elizabeth. That's the brand. Purely Elizabeth Probiotic Granola. And my favorite flavor is the chocolate sea salt. It's so, so good. It's like the perfect mixture of, it's not too chocolatey, but the perfect amount of like sweet and salty, which that's like my absolute favorite. And what I love about this brand, Purely Elizabeth, it's nutrient-dense ingredients. Like, I'm so key about the ingredient list. I think that's why I'm in the grocery store for like an hour because I read every single thing that's on the ingredient list and on the package because I need to make sure I know exactly what I'm ingesting and putting into my body. And I love that all of these ingredients, it's short. So think, the shorter, the better when you're reading the ingredient list. And they're nutrient-dense ingredients made up of organic quinoa, amaranth, and chia. Those are the main bases of the granola. Because when you think of granola, it's super sweet. A lot of times it's very high in sugar, but this one's not super high in sugar. It's dark chocolate as well. I wish I had like the bag here with me, but I don't. And it tastes so amazing. There's also a lot of other flavors. If you're not a chocolate person, they also have like a vanilla almond butter, maple walnut. Like they have so many incredible flavors. So highly, highly recommend Purely Elizabeth Probiotic Granola. You can find this at Target. That's usually where I get them. And so that's for my number 1 recommendation for high probiotic foods. The granola, you can eat this alone or in yogurt, which, as I mentioned in the podcast, it's a fermented food. So perfect fermented food paired with a high probiotic food. Boom. Amazing gut health. You're welcome. Okay. Next thing here is a supplement I've been taking, and it's from the brand Renew Life, and it's called Ultimate Flora Probiotic Supplements. Again, Ultimate Flora Probiotic Supplements. This is for women. So make sure, like men and women have different needs, right? So make sure if you decide to take probiotic supplement, to grab the appropriate one for you. So for men, women. Like for women's probiotics, they tend to keep like some of the needs, is like maintaining homeostasis in your vaginal area. So like vaginal microbiome in check. And I don't think men would really need that, right? And vice versa for men. So there's different needs in both probiotics. So there's probiotic for men, then probiotic for women. And again, the one I use is called Ultimate Flora Probiotic Supplements from Renew Life. Next, this one is also a supplement, and it's from the brand Gaia Herbs. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. It's spelled Gaia, Gaia Herbs. It's oil of oregano. And this is great for immune and intestinal support. And this item is pretty inexpensive. You can get this item from Amazon. I think all of the items I'm listing today I get from Amazon except for the granola I mentioned previously. And last but not least, last supplement, or a drop in this case, it's from the brand Sovereign Silver Bio, and it's called Active Silver Hydrosol for Immune System. Again, Sovereign Silver Bio, Active Silver Hydrosol for Immune Support. There used to be a spray, but these sold out, of course, because everything's selling out now. So there's only the droplets, like the little tincture drops. And again, this is also great for immune and intestinal support. All of these items are pretty expensive that I mentioned. They're around $20 or less. So if you have the funds, I suggest investing in your health, especially during this time. You do not want to catch the Rona, okay? So invest in your health. If you don't like my suggestions, do your own research and look for items, high probiotic foods, supplements that can help improve your immune system and intestinal health. And you guys, that's pretty much all I have for you today. That was a lot of information, I know. I hope it was all valuable and useful for you. Like I said, especially during this time with coronavirus, it is imperative to boost your immune system. That's going to be like the best way to fight off this disease that we are facing. So just really focus on improving and strengthening and supporting your gut health. Wash your hands, stay safe, everybody. And I want to thank you all so much for tuning in to today's episode here with me. If you liked what I had to discuss, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, all of that good stuff. And as always, I wish you all a very happy and healthy and successful week.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Health and Wellness Podcast, part of the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Google Play. Just type in GSMC to find all the shows from the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network, from movies to music, from sports to entertainment, and even weird news. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's program.